Hey everyone, it's Lori from Scraps by Sissy. Happy Tuesday! How's everybody doing today? We finally have some sun after all of that storm we had Sunday and into Monday. It was awful. I'm not sure how much rain we got here, but the wind was something else. Yeah, and Mommy doesn't do well with wind, and apparently Chloe doesn't either. Well, I knew that. I think she reacted to it. In her mind, it was just like thunder, so she wasn't sure what was going on. Okay, so I'm trying to find you on my laptop so I can keep track of comments as best I can. If you join me, please be sure to say hello. There I am. If I don't answer, please don't take it personally, as I can barely walk and chew gum at the same time. So, let's see. This is what we're working with today. If you had seen my blog post from this morning, this was my Casing Tuesday project, and it's using the Most Adored Specialty Designer Series paper and the Country Bouquet Stamp and Punch set. These came out last January through April or whatever the date was on that catalog. Sadly, I didn't get the other one that's in the new catalog right now, but you know, we can't have it all, although we want it, right? So anyway, this was my Casing Tuesday project, and there's the inside of the card, and of course some more of that beautiful gold embossed paper. I'll show you. These are the papers that are in the pack. Sometimes the photography in our catalogs isn't quite the best when it comes to paper, but it comes in pinks and reds on one side. This was my favorite, as you can see, because that's all that's left in this pack of paper. There's the gold hearts on this side. And then I'll flip this over so you can see all the gold. So there's a plaid, a pink swirl, and flowers, two different types of flowers. And then, I don't know what you'd call this, almost some kind of an abstract print. I don't know what that's called. But anyway, that's that pack of paper. This is a pack of paper that you can get for free with a $50 order. So, because we're right in the middle of Sale-a-bration. So let me put this aside and I'll show you what we're doing today. I have to show you my scrapbook layout first of my sweet baby girl. I recently joined a Facebook group. I can't remember the name of it. I've got it in my saved category on in my Facebook, and she thinks she needs to be part of this right now because she knows I'm talking about her. Anyway, when I joined this Facebook group, they have a sketch challenge, and I thought this was perfect to show off the paper and, of course, my sweet little baby girl who's going to be 12. I will have all of the measurements in today's blog post. Hello, Janine. How are you? I made it. I don't know how. Anyway, I'll have all the measurements for my scrapbook layout in my blog post, which actually is ready to go as soon as I get through with this this live video. I don't know how that happened, but yep, it's all ready to go. So there's that, and we're going to create this card, some more of that gold foiling. This is actually a fun fold card. Flip it open like that. It's kind of a take on, and I don't know the name of the fun fold. I have called it my 1-1-in-1, where you cut your cardstock and your designer series paper to the sizes. The front here is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. The layer of the designer series paper is 4 by 5 1/4, and then you just trim off one edge. This is the piece, this flap here is the piece I trimmed off the front of the card base. And this is the 1-inch piece I cut off the designer series paper. Isn't that fun? that's the card we're going to do, and this is the tree holder we're going to create. Isn't that adorable? And it holds one of those little Merce. I didn't take French, so I can say gracias. So it holds one of those chocolates, and it's perfect for Valentine's Day. So let's get started. We're going to start on the card first. And where do I have my packets? I have them over here. And I did remember to bring my paper trimmer. You've never done scrapbooking? Oh, well, let me tell you, Janine, it's one of those things. I did scrapbooking long before I ever did card making. And if you're anything like me, once you start, you have to have everything for it, which is a good reason to be a demonstrator because you got that discount, right? All right. So let me set that aside. And there's a piece for my envelope. I'm going to try and be a little neater this time. Like that ever is going to happen. Okay, so like I said, this is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and it's scored at 5 1/2. So I'm just going to trim off 1 inch off the front of this, and then I'm going to score it at 1 inch. Make sure we score it, not cut it. Okay, so that piece becomes our little flap. All right. Then my piece of designer series paper is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to cut 1 inch off of that. And that's all there is to it for the cutting. Set this aside. All right, so I'm going to create this part first. So you're going to take your 1 inch piece and then your little flap, and you are going to attach them together using some Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to put adhesive on both sides of the short side where the score mark is. So I'm going to put that, make sure I got my pattern going the right way. And I want to snug that up right against the designer series paper. Just like that. Shh, Chloe. Now we're going to add some adhesive to the back. She hears her daddy out in the garage, and she just knows he's going to start one of his mean electric tools out there. Okay, now that we've added adhesive, we're going to put this in the card base, and you want to make sure you leave 1/4 inch on the 3 sides, and there's that part right there. Okay, now we'll add this to the card front. You took Latin? Oh, no, not me. Spanish. I took 4 years of Spanish, and I think the only thing I can remember, aside from a few words that you can't say on air, is Hola, ¿qué tal? Bien y tú, me llamo Paco. That's it. My Spanish teachers are rolling. Okay, so now I want to stamp my pieces. Please tell them I did. Now, I'm going to use Memento and Real Red. I want that, and I want the Just Wanted to Say. Set the rest of it aside for the moment. We'll put him aside. Okay, I did bring a piece of grid paper because I have to stamp off. I'm going to stamp my heart. But since it's going over words, I don't want it to be real dark. So I'm going to stamp off and then just stamp that in the middle of that layer. I don't remember if I sprayed that or not. Okay. All right, and now let's close this up for a minute. As you know what'll happen. I'm going to take the black, which is that Memento, which is my favorite black. Make sure this is all inked up. And then I'm just going to stamp that right over the heart. Just like so. Okay, let's close this up for a minute and we'll finish the front of the card. Just going to add this. Now the labels that I cut are from the Nested Essentials dies. Lay that on there. And now, just to make sure I have everything in the right area, I'm just going to add the adhesive to my little swing arm. I'm going to set that right over the adhesive. Then I'm going to take some of the gold and vanilla satin edged ribbon and hope I can tie a bow without looking too fumble fingers. Aren't those dies wonderful? They make the best labels, but then again, they knew that. All right. I don't know if this ribbon has a right or wrong side. They both look the same to me. So I'm just going to bring this over, make sure the ends are kind of equal, and tie my bow. Get that tucked in there. My hands are so cold. Try this again. I think it's only, now I know this will be warm compared to some places like where Janine's at, but I think it's only in the 50s right now, which is warm compared to yesterday. I think we only made it into the 40s. Okay, there we go. Not pretty, but it worked. Okay, there we go. I think he's a little bit big. Close enough for government work. Okay. I'm going to cut the legs. There. There's our bow. And the bling I'm putting on this one is the new, what's it called? Iridescent foil gems. They're really pretty. They take on whatever color that you have on your project. At least I think so. Just add another one here. We'll put a big one right here. Let's put him up here. And I'm trying to keep it at an odd number. Let's put one down. That doesn't make it odd. That makes it even, doesn't it? All right, it's okay. It's not rocket science, Lori. Okay, so our front is done. Now we'll stamp our inside. Oh, this piece right here is 4 inches by 4 inches. At least I think it was. Yep, 4 by 4. I know yesterday when I was putting this card together, it didn't quite work out that way. All right, what did I put on the inside? I put, oops, nothing. I put, oh, I love you, Happy Valentine's Day. And that stamp is right here. Larry doesn't realize it, but he's going to get a couple of cards this year. All right, so we'll stamp this in the black, tuxedo black memento, which is the ink you want to use whenever you're coloring with your Stampin' Blends or alcohol markers. Okay, that's all we need the black ink for. We'll open up our red. And we'll add those 2 little hearts. We'll put that right here at the bottom. There we go. And glue him in. I know, Janine, you're sitting there saying, close the ink pad up, close the ink pad up, right? Because I'm going to stick my hand in it. All right, so we'll stick this in here like so. All right, there we go, close enough. The card is done. I'll quickly add my piece of designer series paper to the envelope flap. And the nice thing about this card is you could use either side of the designer series paper because both of them are showing on the card. I think this one will do the gold because the other one I did the red hearts on. So I'll add him right at the edge. You probably saw my head in the camera. Okay. And we'll just trim this. I think this is definitely my favorite way of decorating an envelope. So a lot of times you have a stamp set that doesn't have any images in it that you want to use. So whatever designer series paper you're working with works perfectly. And it ties the whole project together very nicely. At least in my honest opinion. Okay, so there's card number 1. And that shows you with the 2 different envelopes. Isn't that fun? And it's so easy. All right, let's make our little treat holder. This guy, I'm not a 3D type of person. My mind doesn't work that way. So thankfully, this was a project we had for our team meeting. So this piece is in real red, 1 3/4 by 8.5. It's scored at, I think it's at 1. It'll be in my blog post. 3 1/4 and 3 1/2. So it creates this treat holder. Okay. Then we're just going to add some designer series paper. And this time I'm going to use the gold hearts. I get my little pearls out. Very rarely do I not use pearls or something, right? I have a little sentiment flag that is from the Stylish Shapes dies. Okay, so I have a piece that's 1 1/2. I think this is 3. In the original instructions that I had, it called for a 4-inch piece, but I didn't have one quite long enough at the time, so since you're not going to see it all anyway, this one works just fine. Excuse me. Okay, so this one is 2 by 1 1/2. We're going to add that to the front. It goes right underneath here. One of those gold hearts just look so pretty. Now we're going to bring this down, and this is 3/4 by 1 1/2. You know what? I didn't bring a chocolate over here. I'll seal the one out of this one. Okay, so it's easier to tie the bow with your ribbon when your chocolate is in there. Excuse me. The sun comes out and my allergies start taking effect. Okay, where did I put, whoops, man down. Where did I put my ribbon? Oh, it's right. Janine, oh, there it is. I see my ribbon. And I dropped my stamp. Okay, make sure he's good and clean. We're going to stamp him in real red. I'll do that first. And he fits in there perfectly. Just like so. Okay, done with the inks. Set him aside. I want to punch the foil. Here's a little tip. If you're only going to use the large heart, punch it on a diagonal, and then you get very little waste from the leaves on the punch. Just like that. Okay? So I'm going to add him, I think I said in my blog post, I think I said seal, but I'm going to use mini glue dots. And add the little strip to my heart. Move him out of the way. I'm going to add him just like, I'm going to put him on a diagonal. Set him aside. We'll get this guy tied up. And then add my pearls and our heart, and we'll be done. Okay. Now you could absolutely tie a knot if you're not into tying bows. I know there's a lot of bow challenged people. That's one of those things I was determined to learn how to tie a bow. So I just tied and tied and tied. Okay. Bring him down. And even so, I still fumble with it. Especially on camera. There we go. Oh, that one worked together pretty well. Okay. Come on. There we go. He's kind of lopsided. All right, let's add him with some dimensionals, or a dimensional. couple of those gold pearls and we'll be done. I'll set him, just tuck him right there. It also helps keep that closure closed. All right. And then 2 gold pearls. Look, at even the candy has red and gold. Now that's coordination, isn't it? Okay, move that up there like that. And we're done. Dun, da, da, da. Okay, clean up my mess here a little bit. And move all of this out of the way. Move this out of the way. And there we go. Our 2 treat holders. I'm going to have to put another candy in there. Our 2 cards. Aren't those pretty? And then, of course, my scrapbook layout. Little Chloe's face. That I added the sparkle gems in black and silver. I forgot to mention that when I was showing this to you. So that's it. What do you think, guys? Fun, fun, fun. And not too many shenanigans. All right. That's it for today. I appreciate you stopping by and spending time with me. If you would like to shop and get this paper, this is the host code that I've got going for the month of February. I will have all of the links in today's blog post. Remember, if you spend $50 or for every $50 you spend, you get to choose an item for free, and this paper is one of them. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Stay out of trouble, Janine. I know that's hard because it's hard for me. Take care, guys, and be safe out there with this crazy weather. Talk to you soon. Bye.